Hello and welcome to TEJ Viewpoint, your trusted roundup of the biggest stories shaping Nigeria and the world today. We begin with electoral concerns. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has called for the resignation of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Joash Amupitan, over allegations of electoral bias. The opposition party's demand follows claims linking Amupitan's past social media posts perceived to favor the ruling All Progressives Congress and President Bola Tinubu. The controversy intensified after US-based scholar Farouk Berogi alleged that archived posts from an X account bearing Amupitan's name reflected pro-APC sentiments. The claims have sparked debate nationwide, with questions over both authenticity and implications for electoral neutrality. Now to economic matters, President Bola Tinubu says Nigeria remains better positioned economically than many African countries, despite mounting pressures from rising living costs and fuel prices. He made this assertion during a civic reception in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, where he commissioned key infrastructure projects. In development finance, the African Development Bank, AFDB, has approved a $200 million loan to Nigeria to support digital infrastructure expansion and job creation. The initiative, known as VIEWPOINT project, aims to deploy 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cables nationwide, expanding Nigeria's network from 30,000 to 120,000 kilometers and boosting digital access and employment opportunities. In politics, Azeez Adediran, popularly known as Jandor, has reaffirmed his willingness to support a consensus candidate ahead of the 2027 Lagos governorship race under the APC. He also dismissed claims that the party has endorsed any preferred candidate, insisting that no such decision has been made. On national security, experts are calling for urgent enforcement action following the federal government's release of a list of 48 individuals and entities allegedly linked to terrorism financing. The move, coordinated by the Nigerian Sanctions Committee under the Federal Ministry of Justice, targets networks believed to be funding extremist groups such as Boko Haram and ISWAP. Security analyst Bala Adamu emphasized that naming suspects must be followed by decisive prosecution to ensure credibility. Still on security matters, Amnesty International has raised alarm over a surge of abduction across northern Nigeria, urging immediate action from the federal government. The organization reports that at least 1,100 people were kidnapped between January and April 2026, with victims often subjected to severe abuses, including torture, starvation, and sexual violence. In fiscal policy, the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee has dismissed reports claiming that the Minister of State for Finance, Taiwo Oyedele, admitted errors in Nigeria's new tax laws. The committee described the reports as misleading, stressing that the minister's comments have been misinterpreted, and warning against misinformations that could undermine ongoing reforms. And finally, in law enforcement, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has intensified its crackdown on drug trafficking, arresting a 93-year-old suspect and a 69-year-old doctor in separate operations. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi confirmed that operatives recovered 7.7 kilograms of skunk, a strain of cannabis, during a raid in Abia State. And that's it on TED Viewpoint. Stay informed and stay engaged. Thank you for watching.